General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, comes into force on May 25, 2018, and will see changes to the way independent garages gather, store and use customer information. The Information Commissioner's Office, the UK's independent body set up to regulate information rights, has stressed that businesses must prepare for GDPR compliance and meet the requirements when the legislation is enforced, as Aslam Vaid of the RMIF explains.
You need to have shown some kind of willingness in order to get to that deadline and meet it. The problem is, if you get to that deadline and don't meet all the requirements of it, and then there's a data breach, then the people that police it, the Information Commissioner's Office, could come and investigate. If they decide that you've been negligent and not done everything you need to up until that date, there are fines in place. The fines are greater than it was in the Data Protection Act, so it could be 4% of your turnover or £17 million, whichever is the greater of the two.
With a looming deadline and fear of significant penalties for non-compliance, many garage owners have reported a severe lack of information when it comes to how GDPR applies to them.
It's been really, really hard. I'm trying to gain all the information and put together, it's like a puzzle piece I've been trying to put together until I get something that makes sense, something that sounds right. Ignorance is never a defence, so you can't ignore the policies that are coming through. It seems scary because it's got such a big penalty against it that there's the fear factor, but actually once you've got down to the nitty-gritty of the detail, it's not that hard to produce. It shouldn't be that difficult.
Before you do anything else, you need to know what data you've got. So different aspects of the business, what data comes in, where does it come from, how is it stored, where does it go to, why do you store that data, so what's your lawful basis? Is it a legal requirement? Is it for legitimate interest of the business? Is it via consent? Once you've documented that, that will then give you an idea of what bits you're missing.
When it comes to the likes of MOT reminders or special offer emails, Aslam explained that garages need to ensure the individuals concerned are aware of how their data is being used.
As long as customers are aware that they'll be sent these and they've given their agreement and consent for that information to be sent to them, then that's fine. There shouldn't be any problem with that. It's when you start sending out information to people that they don't know they're getting it, or that they've not asked for it to be sent to them, that's when sort of trouble looms.
Another common query is what happens to old customer data. It's one we put to Aslam.
You need to have a document storage and retention policy in place. So you need to specify what data you're going to hold, how long you hold it for, how you're going to destroy it, how you erase it, and then need to follow that policy.
I don't think GDPR is going to necessarily affect the daily running, other than just one more question to the customer when we're taking their data. Are you okay with us contacting you again using your data, or whatever the words might be? That, and just making sure any personal information is not visible to other customers, job cards left out, diaries left out, anything like that.
The Independent Garage Association recently sent its members a garage guide to GDPR, and there's a number of further support services available to members, including a gap audit, consultancy and a GDPR quality insurance audit.
The IGA's help and support have been really streamlined. This is what you need to do, this is how you do it, you document it, you do this. It's almost like an order of things I need to do.
It's fine meeting the requirements of GDPR and saying you meet the requirements, but if something happens or if you get audited, you need to have documented proof. One of the things we're very keen on is for people not just to pick up general templates and just assume that they meet the requirements of GDPR. They need to look at any documents they have, make sure they're specific to the operations of the business.
For further information about the IGA's services, go to independentgarageassociation.co.uk.